Hi everyone, I'm too old for toys, and what do I have for you today? It's a review of a mobile suit in action figure, presenting the Mermaid Gundam! Some of you are thinking, what the heck? This is from the G-Gundam series, one of the participants of the infamous 13th tournament. A quick size comparison with the tin of pop. It's quite a bit taller than a tin of pop. Give him a quick 360 for you. And what a fine specimen we have here. Mermaid? Well, we'll come to that later. Clearly this is a fish of sorts. Very amphibious, at least. When we talk about Transformers, you have to evaluate how successful it is in its alt mode, or fish mode. These feet sticking out the back of the fish are a bit of a giveaway. Oh well. Pink, evil eyes. Very heavily armoured fish. Look at those rivets on it. It has a kind of Captain Nemo vehicle look to it. You can see this little tinted yellow portal, and inside you can just catch him. Why he would need to look like downwards, I've no idea. There's no reasoning with some mobile suits which are designed for the G-Gundam series, in case you hadn't figured that out already. Some nice detailing on the soles of his feet here, some jet nozzles, painted a different colour. Now the paint job on it isn't that bad, very aquatic. Onto his fishy articulation. The flippers on the side here rotate and pivot slightly. Flippers at the back, it's more foot articulation from the robot mode. The huge dorsal fin here is a flexible rubber. This tail is multi-segmented. There's like 4 or 5 points of articulation there. The movement is fantastic. You also have a rotating propeller at the back here as well. So, what are we waiting for? On to his transformation! This is a bit of a shell former. So we crack him open, and all his arms and legs are all tucked away inside the body of the fish. If you look at the legs here, and you pull them out on a slider, and it's connected to this shield covering his face. So if I pull out the legs, look at the chin. Dramatic reveal of the Gundam head. So that's his legs. Pivot them out to the sides, rotate them into the right direction so that he can stand for himself. We'll raise these flippers and then pivot the arms out. 2 pins there which mesh with these 2 ports. Clamps nicely together. And there you have him in his robot mode, or Gundam form. Give you a quick 360 of him. Yeah, there's quite a bit of fish kibble on his back there. It does kind of give away his transformation. And I wouldn't blame you for saying that it looked like a fish with arms and legs. For his robot articulation, his frogman feet can pivot up and down. Single point of articulation for the knee, 90 degrees there. There is a cut joint just above the knee to allow some swiveling there. For his transformation, there is a bit of movement for the kneecap armor. There is a big ball joint for the hip, Allows for a pretty free range of movement there. And there is a printing on the back of his thigh, which tells us this was manufactured in 2002, made in China. For his arms, there is a ball joint at the shoulder which allows him to move out just a little bit, and back and forwards not so much either. There's quite a bit of restriction because of this shoulder armor here. Just below the shoulder there is a cut joint to allow some rotation. There is a single point of articulation for the elbow, only 90 degrees, and there is a ball and socket for the hand. And you get a pair of these closed fists as an accessory. You can swap them with open fists. And onto his beautiful fishy head. Flippers on the sides of his face. A continuation of the pink eyes of the fish, and a huge Mohican dorsal fin at the top of his head. Rather unique looking Gundam, in my opinion. And a rather kinky collar there, gold studs. The articulation of his head is left and right. It's on a ball joint and it nods up and down a bit, but mostly together with the collar because there's nothing underneath here. If you look inside there, it's just completely empty. And what do we have for his weapons? He has a trident, of course, continuing the nautical theme. The detailing on this is very nice. It's a very light yellow gold colour. Cool. So you can put the trident in both hands and pose him ready for action. How's that? This guy's strength is definitely in water. So why did the NEO Danes submit a mobile suit which is clearly advantageous on water rather than land? It's a mystery to me. If you know the answer, post it as a comment. Size comparisons with a tin of pop. He's a bit taller than a tin of pop. Size comparisons to his friend the Nether Gundam. He's quite a bit taller than the Nether Gundam. Further size comparisons is the original mobile suit in action figure. Straight up position. As you can see, he's a pretty big chap. Now the funny thing about the G-Gundam series of mobile suits, a few of them have been rehashed to death. The God Gundam, the Shining Gundam, those guys you've got 1 in 1/44 scales, you've got 1 to 100 scales, you've got master grades of them. But for me, it's these guys which are interesting. Regardless of what you think of the design, that's not the fault of the figure itself. They did the best that they could given the design limitations they were provided with. You're never going to get a model of this guy, I'm pretty sure of that, or this guy. And for anybody who says, oh, they look stupid, yes, they do look stupid, and that's part of the charm of them. And mobile suit in action is the only way you're going to get hold of him. So can I recommend this guy? Of course I can. He's going to fit very nicely in my growing collection of Freak Show Gundams. Now if you want him, you're going to have to scour eBay for him probably. This came out as a 2-pack, the Mermaid Gundam and the Nether Gundam. It was a Japanese release. It retailed for 3,600 yen, and it's probably difficult for you to find him nowadays. I'm going to be putting up some scans of the instructions on how to transform him, and also the Nether Gundam. They're going to be in a link in the information sidebar for this video. Check it out. So, thanks very much for watching. Until next time. Mermaid? That looks nothing like a mermaid.